Good morning, students. I welcome you all in this wonderful session. Today I am here with A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, Chapter 2, Class 6. Let's know more about the author. Charles Dickens. Charles John Hapham Dickens was an English writer and social critic. He created some of the world's best known fictional characters and is regarded by many as the greatest novelist of the Victorian era. Charles Dickens was one of the most influential and brilliantly talented writers to ever pick up a pen. His works have endured for generations of readers as beloved in their own day as they are now. Dickens was born on 7 Feb 1812, Landport, Portsmouth, United Kingdom, and died on 9 June 1870, Geddes Hill Place, United Kingdom. His remarkable plays are A Tale of Two Cities, No Thoroughfare, The Frozen Deep. Apart from novels, he was also known as writer for kids. His exceptional work we can see in Great Expectations, The Magic Fish Bond, Oliver Twist, and of course Christmas Carol. Let me introduce with the characters of the novel. Characters in A Christmas Carol: Ebenezer Scrooge, a mean old man; Bob Cratchit, Scrooge's employee; Jacob Marley, Scrooge's dead business partner as a ghost appearance; Fred, Scrooge's nephew; ghosts past, present and future. Various people from Scrooge's life. Here in this chapter you can find poultryman as a collector of funds. Setting of A Christmas Carol. Place, London, England. Time, Christmas 1843. Locations, Office of Scrooge, Home of Scrooge, and various other places in and around London. Let me introduce you with the story. It's Christmas Eve of 1850, and the melancholy Scrooge finds himself alone at home when he sees before him the ghost of Jacob Marley, his long-time friend and business partner who died 7 years earlier. Marley warns Scrooge that he will repent, even in death, for all the suffering he has caused others, and he has only one chance to escape his fate. The story begins on a day before Christmas. Ebenezer Scrooge, a mean, unkind old man, is working in his office with Bob Cratchit, his clerk. His nephew Fred visits him and invites Ebenezer to celebrate Christmas Day at his house. Scrooge refuses. He hates Christmas because he thinks it's too expensive. Next, a charity worker collecting money for the poor arrives, but Scrooge gives him nothing. When it is time to finish work, Scrooge is angry that he has to give a day off work on Christmas Day to Bob Cratchit. After work, Scrooge goes to home to spend Christmas alone and unhappy. That night, the ghost of dead business partner Jacob Marley visits him. He tells Scrooge that he must change his way of life or face the consequences. He tells him that 3 ghosts will visit him. Scrooge is scared, but he goes to sleep. He wakes up to see the ghost of Christmas past, who takes him to revisit his own past. They go to his old school and see Scrooge as a lonely and unhappy child. They also visit him as a happy young man working in his first job with a kind boss called Mr. Fezziwig. Finally, they see Scrooge's girlfriend, leave him for his love of money. Just because of his love of money, he lost very beautiful and talented girl. Later that night, Scrooge meets the ghost of Christmas present. He takes Scrooge to see the Cratchit family's Christmas. They are happy even though they are very poor. The only thing that makes them sad is that the youngest son, Tiny Tim, is ill. Tiny Tim is likely to die without a doctor, something the Cratchit family cannot afford to pay for. Scrooge also visits the house of his nephew. The people are all having fun and are happy. Finally, the ghost of Christmas future arrives. He doesn't speak but shows Scrooge people talking about a man who has died. They speak about the man without affection and are not sad at all that he is dead. When Scrooge sees the grave of the man, he realizes it has his name on the grave. It is his death the people are talking about. He is very sad. When he wakes up the next morning, Scrooge realizes it is still Christmas morning and he is very happy. He wants to help everyone now and become a better person. He buys a big turkey for the Cratchit family and pays for the doctor for Tiny Tim. Next, he goes to his nephew's house and joins in the celebrations. He is sorry for all the bad things he has done and promises to start a new life. Scrooge is now a completely changed man and quite happy, delighted, and enjoying the celebrations of Christmas. He regarded everyone with a delighted smile. He looked so irresistibly pleasant while walking on the street, happily, cheerfully, delightedly. 3 or 4 good-humoured fellows said, "Good morning, sir. A Merry Christmas to you." And Scrooge said often afterwards that of all the blithe sounds he had ever heard, those were the blithest in his ears. He again saw the poultryman on the street. He went to him and offered the charity and all apologized for his behavior in the past. When Scrooge reached Fred's home, he received a warm welcome and was made to feel right at home. The air was filled with joy and merriment, and Scrooge threw himself enthusiastically into the celebrations. Scrooge reached office early the next day after Christmas because he wanted to give a surprise to Bob. Initially, he pretended to rebuke him, but then he announced that he was raising his salary, which made Bob very, very happy. Now Scrooge is a completely changed man, but Cratchit doesn't know it. So Scrooge plans on playing a joke on Cratchit. When Cratchit sneaks into the office a whole 18 minutes and a half late, Scrooge growls at him in his usual manner and scolds him for being so late. Just when Cratchit fears that Scrooge is going to fire him, Scrooge states, "Therefore, I am about to raise your salary." Cratchit can't believe his own ears and he thinks that his boss has taken a leave of his senses and seriously considers calling people for help. Scrooge promised Bob Cratchit to take all the responsibility of Tiny Tim's treatment for his suffering. Bob, he became a second father to Tiny Tim. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city knew, or any other good old city town or borough in the good old world knew. Scrooge was better than his words. I hope you understand and enjoyed this wonderful story. Thank you.